Hello, everyone. Welcome to another match of the Timespinner Randomizer Tournament, Fall 2023. Today we have JimTheEternal versus Wafflesoup, and we're expecting a pretty good match today. I am Urza MTG, and joining me in the commentary booth we have Llama.
Hello again. We are dropping the gate on the hour. Everyone's readied up. Very exciting. Things are going very smoothly this time through the tournament. Not too many fires to put out.
Oh, yes.
I'm very excited about this match. What are you hoping for in your specific cursed item for this race?
I don't think I get to have a say in that, given just how many cursed seeds I've had so far in this tournament. I'm just looking forward to a good match. If I'm being completely honest, I'm hoping for less than an hour.
Yes, that would be nice. I do know that Wafflesoup has always said her preference is either early Talaria or no Talaria at all. So we'll hope to see that.
Indeed, and maybe not a minus orb to start.
Oh, please, that would be just a little treat, please.
Just a little treat. All right.
But it's going to be exciting. We're getting, down to the bottom of the barrel here, but opposite of that normal meeting is that we are left with only really good runners. So it's exciting.
Yep, we are at our last 8 competitors, actually. And here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Forbidden Tome Plus. That's some good starting damage, and also a chiding from Mom about destroying torches.
Gosh, Mom. It's not like I meant to.
Right.
That also means that if they're able to find it, the Jin Inferno spell is also plus, which it didn't need, but it's even better.
Indeed. So we're gonna be going into the pass and just kind of just got some quick housekeeping to do while they're doing their intros. So we're pretty late into this tournament. For those of you who have not seen any of the matches yet, this from last year, we've got a few changes to settings. First off, we have a new setting called Rising Tides, which is going to change the water level in certain areas randomly. Some areas that didn't have water before may have some water added, and some areas that have water by default may not have water, such as Lake Serene. So we'll be keeping an eye out, seeing what is and isn't flooded as we go through.
We also have the Unchained Keys flag, which gives you those twin pyramid keys at the start, so fast travel is automatically available. Ooh. And you have to pick up the warp beacons to any of the eras being present, past, or the mysterious pyramid, and it allows for much more interesting routing.
Yep. Our runners have picked up Plasma Orb Plus in the chest to the left of the hideout entrance.
Plus on Plasma is just broken.
Absolutely. This is going to be very fast. They have great damage to start, and also that Plasma Orb acts as a key for a door they'll get to later in the match. Ooh. Shattered Plus.
Oh boy! I guess we are being spoiled today.
Absolutely.
Shattered Orb being one of my favorite orbs because it hits multiple times per attack, and you can actually slow bosses down enough to get through more of their health in a single cycle than you normally would. Bees!
Bees. Yeah, no, with this set of orbs to start with, I don't expect our runners to have much trouble at all with bosses.
Ooh, and a gear!
Early gear. Very nice.
This is a lovely little seed.
This is, in fact. So, we have a little bit of a divergence here, but it's not really much of a divergence. Jim is taking advantage of that Unchained Keys setting by going up, tapping this warp, and it's going to go down to where Waffle just went to that warp, and warp back up, whereas Waffle is going to go down, tap the warp, and then walk back up manually. It's arguable which way is faster.
I think someone timed it. If you're perfect, it's a few seconds, maybe like 20 seconds, if you're perfect. That's what I think it was.
Yep, as a high five in this chamber here. So Technically, Waffle will be a few seconds ahead as she moves forward here. And we'll just see how things go from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll get to see here because we have Wafflesoup heading to that warp. And they are pretty close to being even keel there, but it does look like Jim's routing was just ever so slightly faster.
Mm-hmm. It could very well be that Waffle killed more enemies along the way, and so she's got
That's
a little
true.
bit more experience.
Absolutely true.
As we head into the castle ramparts here.
We're looking for some form of progression. Usually it's some form of vertical progression, but that could also be a warp into the present or even into the pyramid in these keys.
We have our first bit of divergence. Jim choosing to skip the moat entirely. This is 2 relatively easy checks to get, but it might be faster to route it in later when he's got some more vertical.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to be banking on there isn't something incredibly important at those 2 checks.
And there was not. We are not playing with hide and seek, which requires the Oculus Ring for the breakable walls.
Yep. Jim finding Sellen's Bangle, a piece of equipment that increases experience gain to even further increase their damage as they go along, and the lab coat, one of the best pieces of bodywear.
A fancy coat for science.
Science!
I'm just laughing at how quickly these things are dying compared to the gun minus before. Like, those hammer giantesses would just tank the bullets flying off like BB gun pellets, just pink, pink. And now they just explode after a couple zaps of lightning. It's just so good. So good.
Indeed. Sunring Plus to go along in the same family as the Forbidden Tome that they already have.
Waffle immediately equipping that lab coat.
As you do. And now Jim entering the Castle Keep, where we're going to find out if the basement here is flooded or not. One of our first real flooded chances, and
it was
not. This time.
The moat was drained, but that doesn't really matter too much with our seeds here. It does matter if you have double jump. You can do it without raising the drawbridge if it has water there, but not complete water. But in our seeds, it rarely matters because they start right there.
Indeed.
Just everything exploding.
Yep. We have our first familiar on Jim's side, the demon. I've seen not a lot of people equipping familiars in this.
Ooh.
Oh, and our second piece of the time spinner, the time spinner spindle.
The spoof.
Yes.
I do calling a kitty cat.
Yes.
I do know that Wafflesoup does like to equip Mayeth because she knows that the only true seeds are the ones that have Mayeth in it.
Yes. And honestly, Mayef is actually, in my opinion, one of the better familiars, simply because Mayef is accurate and isn't obnoxious about it.
Mm-hmm. Mayef does occasionally help, with air quotes, on those mushroom towers, but they're doing their best.
Fair enough. Alright, so Jim heading into the Under the Twins area. And we're going to see if our progression is here. There's only one other place it can be if it's not here. Delicious plump maggots being dropped by the wizards.
Ew. If you think about it too much, ew.
I'm sure it's fine. No infestations of any kind.
I think the most accurate familiar would be the Merchant Crow. I don't think it's possible for him to miss his spell.
It's not under the twins, so I'm guessing we're going to find our progression.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
In the upper caves of banishment.
Yep.
Usually players tend to avoid that area until they get the water mask because it has a bunch of water in it, and you have to miss a bunch of stuff for it, but looks like that's where we have to go.
Yep. Jim is going to check the moat first. Understandable, it's 2 faster checks than the 2 underneath, and I think that'll bring our runners back to being about lockstep.
Mm-hmm. Jim's still having that small advantage of the double back